Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well today. Today I'd like to share another story from my book As Far as the Heart Can See, um, which speaks as well to the real importance of our inner work to holding the world together. You know, where we live here in Michigan, the Native American people who were here before us were the Ojibwe Nation. And as most indigenous traditions, their creation stories are a constellation of stories, not just one story. And and this is a part of it. This is called The Work of the Worm, and the version that's in my book is a retelling of this ancient anonymous story. So it seems that the Great Spirit, after creating everything in existence, was pondering how to connect everything in the world when a little worm inched over and looked up at the Great Spirit and said, I can help. Well, the Great Spirit was pleased that one of his smallest creatures could help in such a big endeavor and said, Very well, little worm, help us. And the little worm inched over to the nearest branch and began to spin barely seeable silk threads from its guts. And sure enough, took those threads and wove everything in existence together. Now, you've all probably seen a giant spider web at some time in your life, whether in an old barn or an old building, and you know that those webs are barely seeable until the light comes on it. And just like that, when the Great Spirit leaned over all the threads that connected everything, there was this golden web. And the Great Spirit was pleased and looked down at the little worm and said, Thank you, little worm. You have saved us, not by being brilliant or special, but by being true to your own nature. I will let you live forever. Well, the little worm was taken aback, and the Great Spirit could see this and leaned over and said, Don't you want to live forever? And the little worm looked up and said, Oh, Father, I fear so many years if I can't grow. Well, the Great Spirit was pleased at the wisdom from one of his smallest creatures, and he said, Very well, little worm, I will let you grow into forever. I will give you this ability of yours to spin these barely seeable threads around yourself, and when you can stop squirming and inching and spinning and be quiet and still long enough, you will know the lightness of being that I know. And the little worm inched to the nearest leaf and began to spin the very first cocoon, and in time became the first butterfly. Now, I love that story, and one of the reasons I keep telling it, the thing that stays with me, is that the thing that holds the world together, the barely seeable threads, they don't come from the worm's mind, even from his heart. They come from his guts. And so, what is this saying? Well, for me, it says that we have to process our experience. There's no way around it. And when we do authentic inner work, we are not only increasing the depth and wholeness of our own lives, we are in fact weaving the threads that hold the world together. So I share that today, so when you think you're doing nothing and you're home all by yourself during these very trying times, the work you do matters and will keep the world together, even when we're sitting far apart. So I hope you continue to be well and can keep trying to grow in place, and we'll see you soon.
I'm impressed that you knew that story by heart.